Welcome to Selling Tri-Cities, where we are selling more than homes. This project was created to share our love and passion for this beautiful part of the country that we are lucky enough to call home. We want to showcase the small businesses, the entrepreneurs, and the beauty that makes the Appalachian Highlands one of the most desirable markets in the nation. But most importantly, we want to introduce you to the people that make this area such a wonderful place to live. So join us as we sell you on our love for the Tri-Cities. Hello and welcome to another episode of Selling Tri-Cities, where we are selling more than homes. Today we're lucky enough to have Valentina Gonzalez with us. She is the owner of Beyond Engagement, and they do social marketing solutions, correct?
Exactly.
Yes. So she is a marketing consultant, and I've been following her. I've known her for years, but I've been following her on social media, and she's very plugged into the community and teaching classes and speaking engagements. There's a wealth of knowledge about marketing consulting, and I'm just really excited to have you here and pick your brain a little bit.
I love it. I love this. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, hopefully we can all learn something. I know I definitely will. I know Greg and I are very excited because this is something that we both are passionate about, we believe in, something I need to desperately improve.
Well, we can start with baby steps. I always tell people it's baby steps. So, yeah.
So talk to us a little bit about how you got started into social media and marketing. Why was this a passion of yours?
Okay, well, let's get started with how I got here in the first place. Obviously, if you hear me, I'm from Miami, Florida, so I'm not from here. I moved to the area 12 years ago. I was finishing up my MBA that I paid out of my own pocket. And I said to myself, there are no job opportunities here in the Tri-Cities in social media marketing. Let me just start my business. So for everyone that's watching that is new to the area, you go to networking events, you volunteer at the nonprofits. Within a year of moving here, I got nominated, almost 14 months within moving here, for the 40 Under 40 award.
That's awesome.
So I was so committed to helping the community. I said to myself, when I finish this degree, I'm gonna really work in the soup kitchens and be out there for the community. So it was a natural fit. I loved it, and I didn't see anyone doing what I was doing. So like I said, I started my business. There's so many resources in this area, so many free resources that help you get ahead with your business.
That's so true. I think a lot of times it's like plugging into the community and the networking opportunities that are free for you to network and market with other businesses, entrepreneurs, and just to learn more about how you can plug in. So, okay, so you moved here, you started your business, you worked really hard. What was next? I know Greg is probably super intrigued on the business side of things. Growing your business.
Yeah. So from starting, at what point did you say, I want to make this a business?
Yeah. So I moved here in the fall, technically Labor Day. And I started my business that January. Okay. So within a couple, 3 to 4 months, I already had started going to the Chamber of Commerce events that fall. So I moved here in September. By October, November, I met, the executive directors of nonprofits and started getting involved. So I was ready.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So from today, it's ever changing, social media, right?
Exactly. It's like I'm a hamster wheel right now.
Yeah, it's constantly changing. So what's from your forecast, which I know is tough, what's the next step you think in social media that's coming down the pike?
So what I'm seeing right now is a big trend in community. Really developing and cultivating a tribe, and that is your that's the people that will advocate for you. They're the people for you. They're your customers. So coming with a perspective that I'm going to help those individuals and really hone in and love on and cultivate relationships with that tribe, that community.
Makes a lot of sense. Do you are you seeing more people heading towards other types of platforms than Facebook right now?
Yeah.
Obviously, the younger generation is going to TikTok.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly, yeah.
But are you starting to see the older generation starting to go to TikTok too? Or do you think they're no, I'm stuck on Facebook, that's what I'm going to be. I'm not moving anywhere else,
Well, you're going to see, it varies. If I were to look at your analytics on Instagram, on LinkedIn, you're going to see that you have a different demographic than she might have. So it's all a perspective of where you have all your eggs in the basket. If you're always going to just invest in Facebook, maybe diversify a little bit. Go on LinkedIn. 41% of millionaires are on LinkedIn. So a lot of people try to get the reach there. It's a great tool for SEO reasons, for search engine optimization. You want to be on LinkedIn. You want to cultivate that platform very well. Instagram is more informal. If you see that most of your tribe is on Instagram, then definitely take the time to do Instagram. It has 58 times more engagement than Facebook right now.
Yeah.
So Instagram is where it's at. It has 2 billion with a B.
Yeah.
I know with the Miami accent you might not hear it, but it's a billion monthly active users.
Yes.
So that's something that you want to do. And if you're very adventurous and you have that time and resources, then go on to TikTok.
Are you starting to see, because I'm starting to see it on my end too, in my business. I mean, everyone's going towards reels, everyone's going towards shorter videos because attention span seems to be going like this. So that's kind of falling into that category. So can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so definitely, if you see that that's where your audience is doing the reels, if someone that you cater to needs more substance, then think about that person that wants the longer form.
Yeah.
That it might not be a 60-second video, it might be
5 minutes, 6 minutes.
Yeah, it depends on your audience. It just depends on who you are, who your personas are, which is the people that buy your product.
Sure.
I think about the 3 personas that I cater to when I create a content on Instagram, and I even name them. Like, this is Leslie, this is the Carolines, and then there's like the guys. It's just a separate, a separate thing for the men. So yeah, definitely.
Y'all only have one person. We've got a couple.
I know.
All men are.
All those guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we talked a little bit about how you got started, how you got plugged in, and why that was so crucial to your business and building your business.
Yeah.
So talk to us a little bit about what you do now. Like, what is your business?
It's changed. It has changed during COVID. At that point, I had managed the social media for my clients for 9 years. I was physically doing it for them. And then during COVID, I've said, you know what? I'm going to just be a consultant completely or just do workshops. During the height of COVID, I was doing these webinars, during all this time. And I said, I'm going to just stick to this. This is what I love. I get a passion speaking in front of an audience. I love doing the one-on-one consultations. So I said, I'm no longer doing that. I'm going to just stick to that.
So if I wanted to do, just speaking from like even just real estate, just to keep it simple, because we're both in real estate, but if we wanted to schedule a consultation with you, what would that look like?
Yeah, so basically you reach out to me and I kind of do a little bit of research ahead of time. Okay, she's a realtor, mortgage lending. I get familiarized. I look at what you're doing right now. I look at your website. I look at a lot of things before that first meeting. And then our meetings usually are an hour. Okay, and there's a lot of homework going on. I kind of nitpick. I do a strategy and I show you the latest things that are going on. Because a lot of people, you both don't have time to be looking at all the newsletters that I read on social media and staying abreast of everything that's changing. Yeah.
So from there you would create a strategy for us based off of like our business, like our niche, our personas and people who follow us, and then what our goal is. So ultimately, like, what is your social media goal? Like, what are you wanting to achieve? You create a strategy for that person to help.
Yeah, and consistency. I try to find little areas of, okay, when is it that you have a consistent time once a week to really cultivate your relationships? So every Wednesday I have a mastermind networking group that meets up. And every Wednesday morning, I have half an hour to do nothing in the parking lot. I put my kids on the bus, and then there's like a 30, 45-minute span where there's nothing, I have nothing to do. I can put gas, and that's it.
Yeah.
So I stay in the parking lot, and I do a video. And I talk about what's going on in my life. And every week, I do that video every Wednesday. There's always that time to do it.
It becomes routine and normal.
Exactly.
Versus like a chore or something that you feel like I have to sit down and do this. It just becomes
you kind of want to do it.
Yeah.
You kind of want to do it because the people want to know how you're doing and you want to know how they're doing.
So you talk about like your life. It's like a personal.
Yeah, so I talk about what I've learned, something new,
Yeah.
something that I'm working on, and that's what I do. Like today, I was doing a panel discussion in the metaverse. So I literally put my headset on and I was moderating a panel of people talking about the different metaverses.
Yeah.
So I just did that. So if I had like the headset, like, marking in my face, that's what it is.
Like a scuba.
And then literally down the street, I was at the coffee shop doing a one-on-one on Facebook advertisements. And we talked about the personas and we kind of narrowed down how targeted we want to be. They say the riches or in the niches. So we went really targeted with the Facebook ads, and then I sprinkled in some Instagram strategy for her. So it just varies. My day will vary. Like we're doing this right now with you, and then I go pick up my kids off the bus.
So with Facebook, I mean, what changes have happened recently, or are you seeing any changes coming down the pipe that people should be aware of?
I think with Facebook, I still think you have to have a presence there.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have something, they're like, what happened? Are you still in business?
Yes, I remember I didn't post 2 mornings in a row and people thought I died.
It's kind of like,
I was on vacation, I'm sorry, I took some time off. So
yeah, we do like the tracking, like the fitness tracking we share.
Yeah.
And like 2 days in a row, I didn't see a friend who works like every day.
Yeah.
I was like looking at all my friends that I share activity with, and it was just like blank lines. I sent him a text. I'm like, dude, are you alive?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I got a new Apple Watch. I forgot to sync it.
Yeah.
But it was like 2 days and didn't see anything. So I was like, is he okay? Like,
Yeah.
like is he like, what
Well,
are you doing?
just like she said, people expect
Yeah,
that. Be
yes.
consistent, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So I can't, like, even on Facebook, every time I do a one-on-one consultation, I always see the same problem. The business page has an outdated call to action button, the little blue button that says, call us, learn more, website.
Yeah.
You can't imagine how many people have an outdated call to action.
Oh, I
Or they say message me. Well, they don't even check Messenger, so why are
Oh,
you directing
yeah.
people
Yeah.
to Messenger?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, a big thing we've always dealt with too is that we get more interaction from the personal page than the business page. Can you speak to that and why that is?
It's just how it is, you know.
People want to deal with people.
Like, for example, if someone gets married,
Yeah. Yeah.
someone gets married, is expecting, got engaged,
Yeah.
obviously that's always going to get more traction
Yeah.
than something that you post on your business page about the latest,
Yeah,
whatever in the
mortgage
market,
stuff,
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's people and that comes back to that community. They want to see you. They like when you ever, and for the camera right there, whenever you're like, I don't want to post, I don't want to do anything. If you don't post and you post yourself, you're there. If you don't do it, guess what? Your competitor will.
Mhm.
They're gonna remember your competitor.
Yeah. Yeah.
I could have
so,
that once a week.
No, I'll come back every week.
it's so important. It's so important to be top of mind. I mean, we're getting bombarded, and I'm sure you know all this. I mean,
Yeah.
we're getting bombarded from so many different angles, and attention spans are getting shorter and shorter. You have to be continually in front of people to have a shot to break in, right?
Exactly. And that's why, again, it comes down to community, it comes down to consistency. Where in your week can you find a time to always be consistent?
Yeah.
Is it Wednesdays? When you're waiting to go into your weekly meeting? Is it
Yeah.
Fridays? I call Fridays follow-up Fridays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, what can you do to be consistent? Because that's how you become successful. Yeah.
So if somebody hires you, we go through the consulting process, and they say, I love this, you're exactly what I need. What does that relationship, the professional relationship, look like? So if they decide to move forward, are there, accountability messages and emails? Hey, Aubrey, I have not seen you post in 2 days. Where are you at? Or, what?
It just
what
depends.
can I
It
get
depends
from
on the
you?
person itself,
Okay.
what they pay for, what they want.
Okay.
And stuff, it's different with women. And I'm looking at the camera, woman. If you want to just cater to women, then I'm sending you all the things that are going on in town. I'm pushing you. There's types of people that need to be pushed, and there's people that need to be handheld. So I determine what that person is and what they need.
Okay.
But again, it comes down to consistency. If you are a paid client, I pushed you, and I'm like, why haven't you posted? Why haven't you promoted this big event that you're doing right now? Why haven't you talked about the fact that, I don't know what, wait, something.
Yeah.
So it's
He's a guy. This
Right. He's that
Guys
third
are over there somewhere.
He's
so-
the third persona, but it's back to that. It's just the consistency.
Yeah.
Sometimes a lot of people like, Valentina, I knew that stuff. I knew I needed to do that, but I needed to pay you, so it hurts. So I know that I need to do it. Like if you don't pay,
Which is me.
if you don't
Right,
pay,
Jesus.
if you
I'm
don't
that
pay,
person, yeah.
then you don't do it. Like you have to. That's like
Yeah.
a trainer. If you don't pay the trainer, you're not going to work out.
Yeah.
Most likely.
Yeah.
If we were all consistent, we would all be rich, fit, healthy, what have you.
Yeah. No, it's so true. I see it all the time. People get all excited for like a month or so, then you don't see them. And then they just drop off. And it's a long-term game, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So it's not something where you're going to do it and all of a sudden get clients right away. You have to be consistently doing it over and over again.
It's like, even like SEO, I think that's what it is too. It takes like 6 to 9 months. It takes that along with social media. It takes time. People want immediate results. We're in that generation where we need instant gratification, and that doesn't happen.
Yeah, because it's validating everything that Greg teaches, and he believes in. I mean, teaches the social media classes and why it's so important. And consistency is so important, and how to post and to stay relevant and the personal things. So,
and it comes like every time I see him, I think about the toilet paper.
I haven't posted one of those in years. But yeah, people remember that, right?
Explain to the
okay. So my biggest pet peeve. Toilet paper. It's not so much toilet paper, but it's when people don't change the roll when it's finished and you just leave an empty roll in the toilet paper holder, right? Drives me absolutely nuts. I must have gotten people sharing my stuff like 3 years later over and over and over again because everybody can relate to that, right? It's personal.
Yeah.
And like going back to what you said too, people don't want to deal with a business, they want to deal with you, you know? And it's important to understand about you so it makes them feel more comfortable.
Yeah, so every time I think of him, I'm thinking the toilet paper is over.
I love the one meme where, people want to change the world, but they can't even change the toilet paper.
Exactly. Exactly.
So, but yeah, I mean, but you have to be funny, you have to be yourself, be yourself. There's people who are going to come attracted to you, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So
my next question is, so I know you said you used to handle social media accounts for your clients, but now you kind of stepped into a consultant position. That way, honestly, you can probably spend more time helping other broader reach and helping more businesses and people and entrepreneurs. So if you're somebody, let's just say like myself, who maybe needs somebody to help them with some of that, because I was listening to somebody and they said, you'll have a list of 10, actually it might have been on one of your coachings, I can't remember, but you might have a list of 10 things you need to do today, and you cross out 8 of them, and there's 2 left. The next day, you make another list of the same 2 are there, they might move to the top, but next thing you know, you cross out 8 through 10 and not, or whatever it is, 2 through 10, and those 2 keep getting not done, not completed, and it's because they end up being like your least favorite thing to do. But they're still things that need to, be accomplished. So those are things that you might want to, hand off or pay somebody to do because they're still important, but you find yourself doing things that you're passionate about or you enjoy doing. And in a business, sometimes, it's important that you do all of the things.
Yes.
So do you have people that you recommend or you can plug in?
Yeah, I do.
To help when there is something like, listen, I can do all the things, Valentina, that you're telling me, except for these 2. I just know I won't do this.
That's why you pay someone to do it for you. And I think I'm obsessed with the Enneagram numbers thing. So like, there's people that are 3s. I need to have the little to-do list, and they need to have a to-do list to make them feel better. There's the 1s, there's the 2s like me that are, friendly people. So you can't be hard on yourself. You have to give yourself grace. You can't be making yourself feel bad because you're already starting off on a wrong note. You have to, if you can't do something, you pay someone, or you try to learn it, or you find a way to love it, because it's going to be instrumental to grow your presence in your business.
let's talk about video, because this is my big pet peeve, is that people are afraid to do video because they're afraid, I hate how I sound on video. I hate how I look. Everybody knows what you look like, everybody knows what you sound like, right? So let's just get that out of the way.
The video's not going to change that.
Exactly.
This is a good story, and I'm glad you asked that. I just mentioned this yesterday. In the height of COVID, I went to one of those home whatever stores. I had my big hat, because I'm from Miami, so I live in hats, my big Miami glasses, my mask, and I was like, I'm not touching anything, I'm going to just walk in there. I started talking, I'm like, I need this paint here, I want that teal, and someone's like, Valentina. And I'm like, how do they even know it was me? I'm wearing this crazy hat, everything. And again, it comes back to, I don't feel like doing a video, but if I don't do it, they're going to think of my competitor. You have something to share. Everyone has a story to tell. Everyone has a different perspective. What I think about social media has a different opinion when it comes to you with the social media, especially you too. So
it was crazy yesterday. I posted this on Facebook yesterday, actually. I was driving through Chick-fil-A, and I'm putting my order through. He goes, "Hey, you're Gregg Pechmann, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, I am." He goes, "Yeah, I watched a video on YouTube about such and such program. Thank you so much." He's wanting to get in the mortgage business and everything else. But it just goes to show you, if you're not in front of people and being consistent, somebody told me a long time ago is that, hey, listen, if you're afraid to share what you know already because you're shy, or hey, I might sound like brag, you're not bragging. You're doing a disservice by not getting it out there and telling people about it.
It's top of mind. It's not sales pitching. It's just being top of mind.
Yeah.
And that's why I love my Wednesday videos, because I'm just top of mind there. I'm just talking about what's going
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Is if you were a new entrepreneur, a new business person, you're just starting your own business, your own career, what are a couple of tips that you would recommend that somebody does to help increase their social media following, platforms, things like that? What are a couple things that you could say, this is what you need to do?
I wouldn't be sitting here, sitting here if it wasn't for, first of all, you need to go to the TSBDC. So if you're in Tennessee, it's the Small Business Development Center. So there's a couple of locations all over Tennessee. It's a free resource, and they give you all this information on how to start a business, marketing, finance, accounting, all the fun stuff.
Can we say that again?
TSBDC, the Tennessee Small Business Development Center.
Okay.
And there's multiple locations all over the state. That's a free resource. But when it comes to the social media, look at your bio. What does your bio say about you? There's a bunch of realtors in the Tri-Cities. What makes you
2,000
special?
of us.
Yeah, how many?
2,000.
No, I thought it was 3,000 before COVID.
Oh no, people have left now that it's got a little bit hard.
Okay, but yeah,
People have fallen off.
there's
They're
a bunch
just
of
over
mortgage
2,000.
lenders. What separates you from the other people?
Yeah.
Look at your bio. When was the last time you updated? Because everything you do on social media, whether it's the hashtags, the stories, the reels, all that stuff that we need to do to amplify the reach of our posts, you have to get to the essence. They're going to do all these things and find you, but if your bio is not good, forget it. If it's an outdated link or the call to action button on Facebook,
Yeah.
consistency.
Well, especially when you get the younger generation now, they don't want to talk to anybody. They want to do their research first, and then they reach out. Can you explain how important that is now?
Yeah, you have to have your presence. You have to show what you know.
Yeah.
You have to show what you know. Exactly. So, and it just depends. You have the different types of buyers. We can go into a whole different topic on business and selling. The analytical people, you're talking about the engineers. There's a bunch of engineers in the Tri-Cities.
Yeah.
They're going to research every number, read it, every page on your website, look at every social media post before they even decide to message you or even call you.
Absolutely.
So you have to have all that content out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's the consistency. Again, it goes back to consistency and having a plan and not being so sales pitchy like you think, but top of mind. Talk about what you're doing. How are you involved in the community?
Absolutely.
So we've talked about how, somebody, can reach out to you and to help with their business. But what are some ways that, I know that we talked about this before, but you're very plugged into the community. You do a lot of seminars and a lot of speaking engagements. So if you were a CEO or you had a sales team or whatever it is, and they wanted to bring you in to do a class, do you do that?
I do private, I do private ones. I don't announce them on my website, but I do have a couple of public ones available right now, and then I have private ones.
So you have some public seminars that people can attend?
Yeah, I have actually 2 boot camps coming up at some leadership in May. One on LinkedIn and one on Instagram. 3 hours long, and we go super duper slow.
Okay, so can you tell us when those are, how to contact you if somebody's interested, like me?
Yeah.
In booking that. So what is?
Everything is on my website. So
Okay.
whether you're watching this a year from now, all my speaking engagements are on my website, beyond-engagement.com.
Okay.
But I have 2 coming up in May.
I mean, I don't know all day. I love talking about social media.
Yeah, this is so intriguing. But do you have any other questions today?
No,
We might just have to have Valentina back on again to talk even more
absolutely.
in detail about whether it's Reels or Instagram and
LinkedIn, that's where I love LinkedIn and Instagram right now. They're my favorite.
Perfect. We'll definitely do this again. But thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate you both
here. I think you are wonderful and you have so much knowledge. I learned so much today. I'm really excited to sit down with you two and hopefully kick me into gear because I need it. Don't really kick me. Yeah. But stay tuned next week for the episode of Selling Tri-Cities where we are selling more than homes. Ciao.
If you are a small business owner or an entrepreneur and would like your business highlighted, please call 423-741-2564 or email aubrey.tellerico85@gmail.com. We would love to showcase your business.